Hey, everybody, welcome back to Client Side Chats. Today, we have a special guest, Joey Garza from Hawaii. Hi, Joey. How are you doing today?
Hi, James. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I tell you, would love to be in Hawaii. So, I mean, that's such a beautiful state. Well, I visit there as often as I can, but nonetheless. So, for everybody, just so you know, Joey has been chapter president of the Hawaii chapter. Joey is the safety manager of McCabe Hamilton and Renny, which is a stevedoring company, one of the oldest in Hawaii, right? Over 100 years old. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Wow. I can't imagine the kind of challenges that you might face as a safety professional in stevedoring. I know there are challenges just with the discussions between people because their view of risk is a bit different, right?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Coming from more regulated industries such as construction, where you have HIOSH and OSHA that do very regular visits, to coming to an industry where you're not as frequently visited, and there isn't quite that enforcement activity going on. The level of understanding of why we do certain things and how we manage risk, definitely there was a learning curve for me coming here.
I understand too in our previous conversations that the organization, or at least the executives, are very embracing of safety. And I know you said it's been a good transition coming into this organization, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I feel that the management team are very much invested. The president of our company does understand the value that safety brings to an organization, and that safety can make or break the success and the profitability of the organization. To have that level of understanding, it really is a blessing to be able to start to make changes in a way that will be more protective for the workers, especially with the type of activities that we do here. And I think we lift a lot of heavy things when we're taking it off of moving objects, so it's going from a ship to the pier. And then you're using really big equipment such as gantry cranes. We have 50-ton forklifts, so it's not your regular everyday warehouse forklift. You have these huge, monstrous machines
Mm.
that are lifting thousands of pounds. And, there is a high level of risk in what we do. So to have the management team appreciate that and want to be able to identify how to minimize the risk, it's huge.
That's fantastic. Now, I know one of the things that you were going to share with us today was one of your successes surrounding rigging, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you. We actually had a series of near misses where our team, they were damaging our slings. The thing was, is that as we were reviewing the reasons for the damage, we realized that there were opportunities for training, there were opportunities for planning, there were opportunities for just management being on the same page about how we address our activities and our operations. So it was really cool because, again, going back to my president being very savvy about safety and the risks, and he actually came from the field. He used to do the stevedoring work. He was a supervisor. He used to plan all this stuff, so he has a lot of operational knowledge.
Mhm.
I literally showed him a picture of one of our near miss opportunities, and he just took it and ran. He saw where we were not using the rigging equipment correctly.
Uh,
And, that's actually really what triggered some huge conversations with our management team about the type of equipment we use. I mean, it even triggered a capital investment in new rigging equipment and different
nice.
kinds of equipment, different options. It triggered additional training for our supervisors. And it was interesting because as I was at each training opportunity to meet with everybody, and most of them had not had any formal rigging training. So this was really the first time that they had a class that talked about regulations. Everything had been handed down and was, in the field training. It was remarkable. The guys, all of our foremen and our supervisors went to the training, and they just stepped up and into the training. I have since had multiple lifts that we've had, and it's really funny because the guys are like, Joey, in the training, we learned this. This isn't right. And I'm like, you're right. What would you recommend to fix it? So, and then they would hurry, and go, and they'd fix it, and they talk to the supervisor, and so it literally started a multitude of different conversations at different levels. And we're growing more in confidence in how we're doing our lifts. We haven't had any near misses recently, which is good. We do typically about one heavy lift every 2 weeks. So we do have a fairly high frequency. And these are thousands of pounds of equipment that we're moving on and off ship. The thing is that it can be very catastrophic if we do have an incident. So both in injuries or deaths even, and then property damage. So the level of attention that was given to this just out of a simple picture and addressing damaged equipment, it was phenomenal. They really stepped up to it, and I'm super, super proud of them being open to wanting to change things.
This is great because you're really talking about what I think we as safety professionals really love the opportunity to live, which is you've come across something and they've just jumped right on it. You help them problem solve it. It also helped you learn about what was going on and how these things are. But what I love about it is that they didn't sit there and say, well, with the training, it was not really valid because it wasn't, really to us. Instead, they said, you know what? This isn't really reflective of what we do. And in fact, it's not right. Here's a better way of doing it. I love that because they felt comfortable to engage with you to be able to get that resolved. That's pretty cool. Nice job.
Thank you very much. It's definitely probably one of the proudest moments in my career that we were able to move through this together. And, it's funny because with each lift, we learn new things. So, and that was one thing that I told everybody. I'm like, please understand, this is dynamic. We're going to figure out different ways to do things each time. And that's how we evolve. Let's keep the communication lines open. Let's make sure we're talking about stuff. Let's make sure that we're planning it as best as possible. How do we support you when you're out there in the field and have to make a field adjustment? It's been really cool to witness everybody kind of pitching in on it.
I can only imagine the doors you've now opened. You've got some momentum to be able to move this forward with other things. I mean, the enthusiasm shows for sure. That's great, Joey. Nice job.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because there are definitely more challenges that we have to address. And thanks to that other position that I had mentioned earlier about the training and development director position, I have the opportunity to actually redo some of our training with our field trainers. I've actually been engaging with them frequently, going out and visiting with them, asking for, how do we formalize and structure our training so that we can make sure that it's consistent and it moves on, regardless of who the trainers are. So, I think in the bigger picture, it's opened the doors for different types of conversations to happen with different people. I think that really is, that's like one of probably the biggest things that we can do as safety professionals is open doors, create partnerships, achieve goals, and also with the ultimate, keeping people safe.
Thank you for sharing, Joey. Really appreciate it. Again, jealous you're in Hawaii. We're not, but but that's great. I think half the people across the country watching this are like, you got rain, we have snow. Anyway.
Sorry, yes, I keep forgetting that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Joey, thank you very much for being on today. I'd love to check back with you in the future, see how things are progressing, because it sounds like you've started this whole thing to where now it's going to expand and become very, very good throughout the entire organization. And you have a hand on making that all happen.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.